Hey everybody, it's Dakota with Bazoo Studios. Today we're going to be learning how to make a web browser in Visual Studio, and I'm using Visual Studio 2017. So here's sort of what it'll look like. You'll have your home, back, forward, refresh, stop, and your search button. We'll just run that here real quick and I'll show you the end result. So it'll look sort of like this. You can type in www.google.com, hit go, and there it is. So let's get started. First, you're going to open Visual Studio. Start by creating a new project. Go up to File, New Project, and Visual C#. I will be using C#. You're going to need a Windows Forms app, and down here you can type in the name. You can browse to where you want it saved, which I have a folder for mine already. And I'm just going to keep it at the default Windows Form app. You can rename it to browser or whatever you want. I'll just go ahead and change it to browser so we know what it is. So the project's creating. And if yours is like mine, it does not default with a toolbox on the side. So if your toolbox isn't there, go up to View and go down and click Toolbox, and it'll pop that up on the side. First things first, we're going to need a text box, which is under all Windows Forms. It's in alphabetical order, so just go down until you find text box, click and drag. You'll bring your text box into the form, and just go ahead and resize that to where it makes sense. I don't know, it might be a little too big, but it'll be okay. Now go back to your toolbox, and we're going to need 6 buttons. You can find buttons up at the top here. Button 1, button 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Alright. These buttons are a little small, but this would work on mobile or on PC depending on what you want to publish it to. Get those nice and lined up. Okay, first thing you want to do, click on button 1, go over to properties. You can go ahead and pin down your property thing so it doesn't disappear. You're going to look for text. First of all, we need a home button. Okay, click on button 2. You're going to need a refresh button. We're going to need a forward button. We're going to need a back button. And let me open up my other project real quick. So I need stop and go. Stop and go. I'll make these buttons just a little bit bigger. Just especially if we're going to be using it on mobile. Alright, now to edit these buttons, you're going to double click on home, and that'll bring you into the programming of it, which the button 1 _ click. This will be anything within here is what's going to happen when you click on it. So we need to get a hold of our web browser. Well, first of all, we need to go here and go back to our toolbox, go down and put in a web browser. And we'll just drag that up. Okay, now for the home one, it'll be web browser 1 is the name of our web browser, dot go home, parentheses, semicolon. Now, we'll take a closer look at this. Okay, button 1 _ click. Everything that is within these brackets, everything on this line is what's going to happen when you click on your button. We have to get a hold of the web browser, which is web browser 1, that's the name of it, dot go home, which will send us home when we click on that button. Same with refresh, web browser 1 dot refresh. And forward, I believe, will be a bit different. We have to make an if statement for this one. So an if statement, anything within the parentheses after the if statement, if this is true, then we'll run our code on this line. So if our web browser can go forward, we're going to say web browser 1 can go forward. Nope, we're going to say go forward. Web browser 1 go forward. And you always need those parentheses when you're using a method like that. Back. Right, so we need another if statement. If can go back. Well, we have to make sure we call our web browser first. If web browser dot can go back. Then we want web browser to go back. It's pretty self-explanatory, actually. It's not anything too complicated. Now, what do we have left? Stop. I believe stop is the same. Yeah. It's a simple one. It's just web browser 1 dot stop. And the most difficult would be this go button, which will be what you actually use to search. And to do that, we just need a string. So I'll go ahead and put this in here and we can go over it. Okay. We need a string, which is words, A string is like anything within the quotation marks, words. Anything within those quotations is a string. A string is basically words. Okay, so we have a string whose name is webpage. And what that equals is our text box text. So we're taking our text from our text box and we're plugging it in to webbrowser1.navigate. So whatever we type into our search bar is essentially this string called webpage. So we can save that, go back over to our form, go up and hit start. Which will then run our form. We have our form here. And now you can go to Google or whatever website you want, hit go, and bam, there it is. And that's all for today's lesson. Like, follow, subscribe, like us on Facebook. We'll be having a drawing for an Amazon gift card here soon at the end of the month as of 4/10/2019. So around the 30th, we'll have the winner of that. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.